In the morning, a 71-year-old man suffered a stroke. Never consume any of these 5 foods. There are 5 foods that have the potential to cause strokes. Were you aware that the foods you consume for breakfast could be increasing the likelihood that you will suffer a stroke after the age of 70? You don't need to have made terrible decisions for decades in order to increase your chance of having a stroke if you are a senior citizen and consume specific foods on a regular basis. The incorrect mixture on the wrong morning, when your body is already weak, can sometimes be all that is required to have negative consequences. This video will provide an in-depth analysis of 5 specific breakfast items that have the potential to subtly increase your chance of having a stroke. These meals have the ability to influence blood pressure, blood sugar, and circulation in ways that become significantly more hazardous after the age of 70. In the event that you have ever gone through the experience of feeling lightheaded after eating, experiencing a rapid surge or collapse in energy, or seeing changes in your heart rhythm in the vicinity of mealtimes, this might explain why. Stay here with us till the very finish, because the last item on this list is one that the vast majority of people regard to be totally healthy. But it conceals a risk that very few medical professionals discuss, particularly for those who are older. Let's get started. First and foremost, highly processed meats such as bacon and sausage. It is for this reason that processed meats are frequently referred to as a silent threat to the heart health, particularly for those who are older ages. When you begin your day with bacon, sausage, or other meats of a similar nature, you are doing more than just adding flavor to your plate. Additionally, you are loading your bloodstream with sodium, saturated fat, and chemical preservatives such as nitrates, all of which put strain on your arteries in ways that you are unable to see or feel right away. This is of utmost importance for individuals who are in their 70s and 80s. When blood arteries are old, they lose their elasticity, become more prone to inflammation, and frequently already become narrower. And when you mix it with foods that are high in salt and fat, which cause your blood pressure to rise and cause your blood to get thicker, you are leading yourself into the kind of internal storm that increases the likelihood of having a stroke. When I was younger, I remember a man named Frank who was 74 years old and never skipped his 2 slices of bacon in the morning. The custom was followed, but as time went on, he started experiencing bouts of dizziness, particularly after he had breakfast. In the morning, after going through his customary routine, he fainted at the table. He had previously dismissed it as nothing. The onset of his stroke was sudden. It accumulated over time. His system had been gradually pushed over the brink by years of daily sodium, fat, and vascular stress, particularly first thing in the morning, when the body is just beginning to ramp into a heightened state of activity. Although he made a full recovery, Frank altered his routines. At this point, he begins his day with either scrambled eggs, avocado toast, or porridge, to replace the meat, egg whites seasoned with herbs. He has not experienced a bout of dizziness in months. His blood pressure has decreased, and his energy levels have remained stable. That bacon or sausage is a bad thing is not the case. Your body is unable to process them in the same manner that it used to after the age of 70. The margins are narrower. The risks are higher, and something that was once entirely innocuous has transformed into a risk that you just cannot afford to ignore. Take a moment to rethink your approach to the frying pan if you still find yourself reaching for it first thing in the morning. If you do this, your arteries and your future might be grateful to you. Secondly, breakfast cereals that are high in sugar. They are brightly colored, are easy to use, and are frequently sold as a component of a well-balanced breakfast. Sugary cereals, on the other hand, can be a relatively harmless threat that is lying in plain sight for elderly people, particularly those who have blood pressure or blood sugar levels that are even slightly high. The vast majority of individuals are unaware of the amount of sugar that is contained within that small bowl. You can get as much sugar in a single serving as you would in a slice of cake, which will cause your blood glucose to spike and will set off an insulin reaction that is like a roller coaster. All of this can occur within the first hour of your day, including inflammation and vascular stress. The fact that your blood vessels are more sensitive at this age makes this a significant issue for people who are over the age of 65. Your pancreas is not as effective at regulating insulin, and rapid increases in blood sugar can cause an increase in blood thickness as well as oxidative stress, which are two significant factors that contribute to heart attack and stroke risk. Take for example Robert, who was 76 years old and believed he was being cautious. Cereal that is good for the heart every morning, in addition to having dry fruit that was coated in glucose and additional syrups. It also contained roughly 12 grams of sugar per serving. Whole grains were included in the product. The fact that he felt jittery and sluggish by the middle of the morning, as well as the fact that his blood pressure readings had recently moved upward, were both mysteries to him. It wasn't until his nutritionist took him through the label that he realized the connection between the two phrases. Things began to change for him when he made the decision to convert to unsweetened oatmeal, which he topped with a handful of fresh berries and a sprinkling of flaxseed. He experienced a decrease in his blood pressure. His energy level became more consistent, and the morning fog vanished. When you are in your 70s, eliminating sugar is not the only thing you should do. In order to avoid unstable energy patterns, it is important to avoid meals that cause them. Your circulation will be challenged, and the natural rhythm of your body will be relaxed as you do this. Be sure to take a closer look at your breakfast if it is packaged in a box that is brightly colored and contains a lengthy list of ingredients. Anything that has a pleasant flavor could be detrimental to your health in the long run. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing watching this video and that you find these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Now, let's proceed with our plans. Third on the list is flavored yogurt that has sugars added to it. Yogurt is a food that many people consider to be a healthy option, and it probably is. In contrast, when sweets, artificial flavors, and thickeners are added to that 1 cup of dairy, it transforms into something that is significantly less beneficial to your cardiovascular system and your brain. This is more important than it has ever been for senior citizens, because the food you consume first thing in the morning not only provides your body with fuel, but it also determines how your blood vessels operate, how your brain receives oxygen, and how well your body is able to deal with the demands of the remainder of the day. Each serving of flavored yogurts, particularly those with fruit on the bottom and dessert-inspired variations, typically contains between 15 and 20 grams of added sugar. In a single, compact container, that is equivalent to over 5 tablespoons of sugar. These hidden carbohydrates, when ingested on a daily basis, contribute to chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, and elevations in triglyceride levels, all of which raise the risk of stroke over time. Ellen, who was 72 years old, always consumed yogurt, despite the fact that she held the belief that it was the most nutritious component of her morning. She consistently opted for the strawberry swirl or vanilla cream varieties. It wasn't until her doctor noted that her fasting blood sugar was creeping up and that her cholesterol values were shifting in the wrong direction that she thought about checking the label. After making the move to plain Greek yogurt with a few slices of banana or a sprinkle of honey, she saw an improvement in her numbers. It did not make her feel starved. It was as if she had a better sense of clarity, steadiness, and control. Yogurt is not the problem in and of itself. The sweetened and processed kinds are the ones that promise to be beneficial to your digestive tract, but they actually put a strain on your circulation. For a person who is over the age of 70, even little daily routines like these might pile up. Therefore, it is simple to ignore the impact of yogurt because it has a light and healthy feel to it. Your arteries, on the other hand, don't miss nothing. Each and every morning, they react to each and every scoop. You should make yogurt work for you if it is a regular element of your regimen. You should select forms of whole milk that are unsweetened and include active cultures. You can then naturally enhance the flavor by adding fruit, cinnamon, or a few chopped nuts. Because it is not enough to simply eliminate the things that are harmful when you are attempting to lower your chance of having a stroke. It's about making a conscious decision about what your body needs on a daily basis to feel its best. The fourth option is to purchase muffins and pastries from a store. They are gentle and pleasant, and they frequently give the impression of a little indulgence to begin the day. It is possible that you are doing more harm than you think when you reach for that muffin or packed Danish that you purchased from the store. Particularly if you are over the age of 70. Common ingredients used in the production of these baked goods include refined white flour, artificial flavorings, and industrial oils that have a high concentration of trans fats. Together, they constitute a deadly triad that can raise levels of bad cholesterol, encourage the creation of arterial plaque, and raise the risk of clot formation, all of which are important factors that can lead to strokes in elderly people. Worse than that is the way that these pastries behave once they enter your body. You will experience quick increases in blood sugar caused by refined carbohydrates, which are then followed by crashes that leave you feeling exhausted, angry, and even unsteady at times. At the same time, the fats that are concealed in your body cause inflammation of your blood vessels and hardening of your arteries, both of which work to undermine your circulation in a more subtle manner. Heart doctors frequently state that the ingredients are more important than the calories. And there is a good explanation for this. In addition, the majority of those elements in a pre-packaged muffin are developed for shelf life rather than for the health of the heart. Consider Margaret, who was 75 years old and a huge fan of blueberry muffins. After purchasing them at the grocery store in her neighborhood, she decided that they were superior to donuts, and as a result, she gave herself a treat a few times a week. On the other hand, a dietitian presented her with the data after she was admitted to the hospital due to a mild stroke. Each muffin included more than 400 calories, 15 grams of sugar, and nearly enough saturated fat to complete a full day's worth of calories. Margaret took a deep breath. She believed that she was making a more intelligent decision. The ease with which these foods might be considered acceptable is, in some respects, the most hazardous aspect of the situation. Still appreciating the ritual of a muffin, she now bakes them at home once a week using almond flour, mashed banana, and oats. This allows her to avoid the hidden damage that comes along with eating muffins. At the age of 70, it is not about being perfect, rather, it is about being conscious of your surroundings. And once you are aware of the ingredients that are actually contained in those convenient little pastries, it will be much simpler for you to select something that is beneficial to your health rather than something that may potentially be harmful to it. I would appreciate it if you could use the fourth comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Now, let's proceed with our plans. Instant noodles or high-sodium microwave breakfast bowls have been ranked as the fifth option. It is possible that you do not consider microwave bowls or instant noodles to be breakfast foods, but for a significant number of elderly people, particularly those who live alone or are searching for convenience, these speedy meals have silently made their way into the daily routine. To make them, all you need to do is add some boiling water or put it in the microwave. However, the issue is not the convenience, rather, it is the contents that are concealed within that plastic container. The majority of these goods contain a significant amount of sodium, with some servings containing more than 900 milligrams of sodium. Even before the clock strikes 9 in the morning, it is more than half of the daily intake that is suggested for those of a certain age. Furthermore, when you take into account the preservatives, flavor enhancers, and low-quality oils, You are left with a mixture of components that have a direct impact on blood pressure, blood thickness, and circulation. This is not merely a game of numbers for someone who is beyond the age of 70. The question is how your body reacts to salt and chemicals after being exposed to them for a number of years. Your blood vessels become more reactive, and even a slight excess can cause your system to surpass its threshold. Your kidneys process salt more slowly, and your blood vessels become more reactive. Tom, who is now 78 years old, used to take breakfast burritos from the microwave practically every morning. Even though he was taking medicine, his blood pressure got more difficult to control with time. Despite the fact that it was quick and satisfying, he was required by his physician to keep a record of his sodium consumption. And the results from breakfast alone were fascinating. Tom's readings returned to normal when he made some adjustments to his diet and started preparing more straightforward meals, such as scrambled eggs with spinach or a slice of toast made with healthy grains and avocado. While he continued to eat healthily, the meals he consumed no longer posed a hidden threat to his cardiovascular system. One thing to take away from this is not to never use a microwave again. What you should do is pay attention to what you are heating up. It is time to rethink your decision if you turn the container over and discover components that you are unable to pronounce or sodium levels that are comparable to those found in a bag of chips. Your body deserves meals that not only sustain your strength but also do not undermine it after the age of 70. In addition, this covers the things that you reach for when you are exhausted, in a hurry, or simply want something simple. These seemingly insignificant decisions pile up. In addition, when it comes to preventing a stroke, it is not the major choices that a person makes once a year, every single morning. It is the smaller ones that count. It ought to be for a year, right? Lastly, some thoughts. As we come to a close, I would like you to take a time to reflect on your own mornings. What are you now eating? What are some of the more insignificant routines that you might have neglected? Those that appear to be innocuous, but over the course of time, might it be subtly impacting your health in ways that you had no intention of doing? It's not only about taste or convenience when it comes to the 5 foods that we've discussed today: processed meats, sugary cereals, flavored yogurts, store-bought pastries, and high-sodium fast dinners. They are concerned with patterns that either help your body maintain its resilience or gradually lessen its ability to function normally. One piece of good news is that this is not about perfectionism or morality. The issue is one of awareness, because once you have an understanding of what these things do inside your body, you will be able to make decisions that protect you not only from strokes, but also from exhaustion, fogginess, and that lingering feeling that something is just not quite right. Mornings that provide you with vitality, clarity, and mental tranquility are something you deserve. Mornings that strengthen your circulation, maintain a steady blood pressure, and instill confidence in your general health and well-being. This begins with the food that is currently on your fork. Therefore, it is important to make even the smallest of adjustments, whether it is substituting sugary cereal for steel-cut oats or opting for a hard-boiled egg rather than sausage. Even at any age, your body is still capable of mending, strengthening, and protecting you from damage. You have more control than you think you do, and your body retains these capabilities. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.